Mr. Nyck, Mr. Nyck, he's our pig. It's Mr. Nyck. Yay!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mr. Nyck Show. I'm your host, Mr. Nyck. Today we're going to be talking about African animals as we continue our Animals of the World series. I happen to think that African animals are some of the coolest animals in the world. I'm excited to talk about them today. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host and my friend, Allie. Hey Allie, how are you?
Great.
I am so excited for today because today we're going to be talking about some of the coolest animals in the world. Animals that you may have seen at the zoo, kids, and some that maybe you haven't. Super cool animals. Are you excited?
So excited.
Let's get started. The first animal is an elephant. All right, look at that elephant. Did you know that an elephant is the largest land animal in the world? Yeah, that's crazy. They can be up to 13 feet tall, which is massive. That's like the size of, one-story house. That's getting up there. And can weigh as much as a small school bus.
That's big.
Yes, and in order to sustain those huge bodies, they eat up to 300 pounds of food a day.
I thought I ate a lot.
Yeah, 300 pounds of food a day. They eat grass and all the plants and stuff, but 300 pounds, they will get their money's worth at a salad buffet, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, an elephant.
You know what I think's funny?
What's that?
They're so big,
Mm-hmm.
but their tails are kind of small.
I know, like the tail, you see them swinging back and forth like they're trying to swat flies off of them. You think they'd use bigger tails, right? Yeah, that's a good point. I like that, Allie. Now, after taking a look at an elephant, let's take a look at another gigantic animal, the giraffe.
I like giraffes.
Why is that?
They're just so cool looking with their long necks.
That's right. You know why their necks are so long? So they can eat leaves off of trees that were normally higher than what other animals could reach. So that's why they're so tall.
That's smart. Then they never have to share their food.
Yeah, sharing is good sometimes too, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess sometimes.
And since they don't have hands to pull the leaves off the trees, they use long tongues to grab the leaves and pull them into their mouth. And since they live in Africa where it's very hot and lots of sun, their tongues are black, which helps protect them from getting sunburns on their tongues. That's crazy.
That's so smart.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And did you know that a baby giraffe, which is called a calf, which I think we had in one of our baby animal episodes, you might want to check that out. When it's born, it's 6 feet tall. That's as tall as me. And within like an hour, it can already get up and walk around.
That's amazing.
An hour. I know. Pretty cool. So we've already talked about the largest land animal in the world and the tallest land animal in the world. Did you know Africa also has the largest bird in the world? An ostrich. The largest, the strongest, and the fastest bird in the world is an ostrich. And when I say fast, I mean they run fast. Ostriches don't fly, they run super fast, but they are a bird. And you know what's actually pretty cool is, they run so fast. Most birds have 4 toes. Ostriches only have 2 toes. Their feet are actually more like hooves of what you would see like a deer. And deer, in case you didn't know, super fast runners, which is probably why the ostrich is such a fast runner. And also, Allie, have you ever heard that ostriches bury their head in the sand?
Yeah.
Why, I don't know. That is actually not true. They do not bury their head in the sand. I don't know where that came from, but they don't.
It's probably good they don't, because who would want their head in the sand?
That would probably, be hard to, the sand in your mouth. Like, who wants that? No. Ostriches don't do that, but they are very big, very fast, and very strong, and very interesting birds, if you ask me. All right, let's take a look now at a lion. We've been doing so many of these shows. I knew it was coming and you didn't scare me this time. All right. Usually she roars when we talk about animals like dinosaurs and lions and stuff. Always gets me. This time, I finally was ready for it. So let's talk about a lion. Now, did you know that a lion is not the largest cat? A tiger actually is. I didn't know that. I thought a lion would be, but a tiger is larger than a lion. Now, kids, if you have any cats at home, what do they usually do during the day?
Sleep, sleep, sleep.
I know, lions spend up to 20 hours a day, there's only 24 in a day, resting. Lazy, I know, right? And they actually do most of their hunting looking for food at night when it's cooler, which is smart because it's pretty hot. You don't want to get too hot out there. So lions, if you have cats at home, they act probably very similar to each other. And also, lions live in families called prides. So I don't know if your cats are very friendly with other cats or not, but lions, they are. They have their families and they stick together. All right, next, let's take a look at a zebra. Now, does a zebra look like a horse to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because zebras actually are very, very closely related to horses. And it's not exactly known why they have those stripes, but there are a few theories. Maybe it helps disperse the heat, keep them cool, could trick other animals. Maybe it's hard to tell exactly what's going on.
I know.
What?
Because it looks super cool.
It looks super cool. That's why I think they have stripes, obviously. It's actually also been sort of proven that the stripes keep flies away because they've taken actual horses, painted white stripes on them, and they get bit less by flies.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's interesting. And they have large herds that they tend to hang out in, but within those large herds, they have smaller families. So it's kind of like your neighborhood, right? You have a lot of families in one area, but then you have smaller families like your family in that neighborhood. And they spend a lot of time walking around looking for fresh grass to eat because that's all they eat, grass and plants. All right, next, let's take a look at a different kind of animal here. This is a crocodile. Now, a crocodile has one of the strongest bites in the world. That bite, yeah, very strong. Hey, it's kind of like you, right? Alligator.
A crocodile and alligator are not the same.
I said kind of like you. I didn't say you were the same. What's the difference? Can you tell me what makes alligators, I'm assuming in your mind, so much better?
Well, for one, we have really good fashion sense. I mean, look at my bow.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
And we're known for being a little nicer than those crocodiles.
A little nicer, yeah?
A little.
Yeah. Well, a crocodile can go up to actually a few months without eating. Now, I'm gonna guess maybe that's because they eat large meals at a time. And so they can actually go several months without eating, which is kind of crazy. And did you know that crocodiles also, now if you look back, they date back 200 million years, which means crocodiles are actually dinosaurs. That's pretty crazy. They date back to when the dinosaurs were around. And they can also hold their breath for up to 10 minutes. Probably hang out underwater, hold their breath. Exactly. And then they don't have to eat for the next few months. Next, let's take a look at a hippopotamus or a hippo. Now, did you know that a hippo is considered the most dangerous African animal? I mean, think about it.
It doesn't look that scary though.
I don't know. When you have things like lions and tigers and that kind of stuff out there, a hippo is considered the most dangerous because it will attack anyone or anything that comes in its area. I guess they're pretty protective of their families.
Oh.
Yeah. And they can hold their breath underwater for over 5 minutes, which, again, I don't know why that seems so amazing to me because I can probably only hold my breath for like 30 seconds. And did you know that a hippo's skin produces its own sunscreen? The sun out there in Africa is super strong, pretty darn hot, and they can actually produce their own sunscreen to protect their skin. That's amazing. Let's take a look now at a rhinoceros or a rhino. Now, rhinoceros means nose horn because they have that large horn coming off the nose, right? And did you know that a rhinoceros, for how big and tough they look, they actually only eat plants, not animals. So they're super nice.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know, we talked about how the hippo, their skin makes this natural sunscreen. Rhinoceros, not so lucky. So they actually roll around in the mud and get mud, I know, right? Get mud all over their skin to help protect them from the sun.
Well, that's smart, I guess. It's not like they have sunscreen out there.
Exactly. So the mud kind of cakes on. It probably cools them off too if it's, cool and muddy. And rhinoceroses do not tend to stay in large herds like other animals. They like to be by themselves, but do you know what kind of friends rhinos tend to have actually? Birds.
Birds?
Birds will sit on a rhinoceros, and think about it, if a rhino only eats plants, then they're not gonna hurt the bird.
Does he know they're there?
Probably, because the birds eat bugs off of the rhino. So the rhinos have super thick skin, so bugs will live on and in the skin, and the birds will eat the bugs. So that's feeding the birds, and it's also helping the rhino, right? Stay clean.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little partnership. Let's take a look at a gorilla. Now, a gorilla is the world's largest primate. A primate is the monkey family. A gorilla can be 6 feet tall. So again, we're talking about Mr. Nyck's height, but can weigh 400 pounds.
Like 2 of you?
Like 2 of Mr. Nyck. That's because he has a lot more muscles than Mr. Nyck does. But even though they're so big and so strong, they mostly eat plants. So just like the rhino, not that dangerous to other animals. And gorillas are actually pretty smart because they've been seen using branches and rocks like tools. So maybe to try to open something up or make something. It's pretty impressive, I think.
That's smart.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at our final animal that we're gonna talk about on our African animal episode. It is a cheetah. So, we have talked about the largest land animal, the largest bird, the fastest bird, the tallest land animal. Africa has got it all when it comes to the biggest, the baddest, the fastest, the tallest. And the cheetah is the fastest land animal. Fast. It can run up to 75 miles per hour. If you don't know what that means, if your mom or dad was driving that fast on the freeway, they would be pulled over and given a ticket. That's how fast it can go. 75 miles an hour. Fastest land animal in the world. And you know what else the cheetah has the distinction of? The cutest cubs. I mean, look at these things. Cheetahs have the cutest little babies. I don't know. I mean, all little baby animals are cute. The cheetah, though, the cutest cubs in the world. All right, everybody. I had a great time today learning about all of these great animals that live in Africa. The fastest, the strongest, the tallest, the largest, the most amazing animals in the world. I hope you guys had a great time too. And now, it's time for the joke of the day! All right, Allie, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. How do you brush an alligator's teeth?
I don't know. How?
Very carefully. Be careful. She snaps. All right, guys. Actually, she chomps. I hope you had a great time with this one today. I know I did. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our fun episodes, including all the other episodes that we're going to do in the Animals of the World series. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Mr. Nyck, he's our pig. It's Mr. Nyck. Yay!